This is a new 2026 Kia XCeed, and I'm going to show you everything this car offers. Unlike most manufacturers where they bring out a facelift or a new model year, they make the car bigger to get you more room in the inside. Well, Kia decided, let's do the opposite. Let's actually make this thing shorter, but you still keep the same amount of space in the inside and also in the trunk. Well, there you go. That's how it works. We're going to talk you through the changes. We're going to test drive it and look at everything this car offers. It's called a facelift, but in my opinion, it looks like a completely new car. When it comes to the front, now they have that opposite United design, which is supposed to be tailored and kind of move towards the EV cars to make them all look a little bit similar. For instance, we have the star map design here on the left side. You standard-wise always get LED lights. This element on the bottom, which looks, in my opinion, like a mouth, and if you look at it from the front, maybe it even reminds you of Ceed from Ice Age, because you got those eyes, which theoretically should be going like that if it were to be Ceed, but in my opinion it looks a little bit like that. Air vents all out here are going to be rear. Let's talk about the the price of the car. Starting price 28,390 euros in Germany, and this color on here is the Morning Haze color, which is one of the new ones, 390 euros for that. The way the car is standing here, with basically spec'd out completely apart from the engine, we're looking at around 37,950 euros. And you can pick up between three different versions: the Core, the Vision, and also the Spirit. In my opinion, the Vision is already good enough because you already get quite a lot of features that, I don't know, the price that you pay extra for the Spirit is quite a lot. But you also get a bigger engine variant there standard-wise, which does include that price point. Let's look at the engine variants, because there are a couple of different ones. So theoretically, there are 4 different engine variants, but there are basically 2 different, so to say, engine variants that you can pick up, because the lower 2 engines are going to be the same engine. One is a mild hybrid system, the other one is not. Both a 1-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged GDI engine producing 115 horsepower. Manual one is not a mild hybrid, and then the automatic with a DCT is going to be a mild hybrid system with a 48-volt system. Then you can pick up 2 different 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and we have the lesser of those 2, which is going to be 150 horsepower, 250 Newton meters, and also 0 to 108.1 seconds with a top speed of 203 kilometers an hour. And then you can also pick up the bigger one with 180 kilometers an hour, horsepower, sorry, not kilometers an hour, and 210 kilometers an hour there of top speed. And all of those are going to be front-wheel drive systems. Let's talk a little bit about the competition, and mainly we have a Mazda CX-30, 29,909 euros for starting price in Germany. Usually they have a high interior, especially for Mazdas there, and a very strong naturally aspirated engine, 2.5 liters usually there, but they don't offer that much space in the front, and they don't have a turbocharged engine, which gives you a little bit of a lower kick there. Hyundai Kona, we're looking at 27,950 euros, which offers quite a lot of different engine variants. You have a combustion engine, a hybrid, or also an EV variant, and also depends on if you like the design or not. They're quite similar to the cars because Kia and Hyundai, obviously, they work together. And then you also have the Volkswagen T-Roc for 30,995 euros, which has a quite usable trunk space. And is also, well, it also has a lot of touch features in the inside. This one is quite usable interior. And also the question is there, Volkswagen only offers 2 years of warranty. This one offers up to 7 years. Another difference in length comes because we have a shorter front overhang by 1.5 centimeters. So not even much. We're looking at a total length now of 4 meters and 38 centimeters, a width of 1 meter and 83 without the side mirrors extended, and a height of 1 meter and 48 centimeters, wheelbase of 2 meters and 65 centimeters. Let's look at what we get on this side. So standard wise, you can pick up 16-inch rims. We now here, because we have the top variant, are looking at 18-inch rims with, again, this more like an opposite United design. They don't look bad at all, in my opinion, those rims, but 18-inch rims are obviously going to limit your comfort a little bit compared to 16-inch rims. Automatically foldable side mirrors, which are also painted in the color of your car, with also blind spot assistant integrated into them. Chrome elements, quite a lot, going all the way around here on the side of the door and windows. Privacy glass in the back. 80 kilograms of roof capacity. You could also pick up an optional panoramic window, which would also be openable, so a sunroof, so to say. That's, I think, 990 euros extra. I would definitely pick that up because I always like those. Side skirt on the bottom, interrupted by this little pillar right here, and more chrome elements on the very bottom. When it comes to the fuel capacity, that's going to be on the left side, 50 liters of fuel capacity there, with a WLTP of 6.9 liters, which would theoretically give you a total range of 700 125 kilometers. What is also new is that we now get a couple more features in general. For instance, we have keyless entry, keyless go, but you also have the option to get a digital key. For the Kia XCeed, that is going to be an NFC. So if you theoretically have the key on your phone, you will have to go basically and connect it to the car, so right here, because it's the NFC, so short range, and then you are going to have to, or you can be able to unlock it. With other cars, for instance the new Seltos that we have, you can have a digital key which is going to be unlockable by just having it in your pocket as well on your phone. Light on the back really looks good in my opinion, goes all the way across, a little bit of in-carving here with the Kia badge on the bottom. XCeed on the side, nothing else on the right side. Looks good, and the same element kind of that we get in the front we also have in the rear here. Let's talk about the trunk capacity, and first up let's talk about the towing capacity. Up to 1,410 kilograms with the variant that we have standing here. Trunk space is quite, actually tongue weight 75 kilograms. Quite usable, 426 liters up to 1,378 liters. If you get the mild hybrid, you're looking at 50 liters less. 60-40 split in the rear, we'll flip those over in a second. We get 4 hooks in total on the bottom and 2 more up on the top where you can put some, I don't know, like grocery bags or whatever you want. 12 volt, 180 watt on the left side, and further down you get a halogen light with this small hook here where we can put some stuff behind it. That is the only out carving on the left, we don't get anything on the right. On the bottom you can theoretically also move this further down, so it's a partition which you can also put further, and down below we also get some more space where you can put some other things. Roof rack or hat rack up on the top. If you flip over the rear seats, let me do the left side because I have too many seats, stuff on the seat there. There we go. If you flip it over, you can see with the false floor being all the way up on the top, you get a nice and even loading gap here. Well, it's not even, but we don't have a big gap right in between, and so you can load longer things in here without a problem. And let's quickly look at the length here. If we have the seats not flipped over, looking at a total of around 33 centimeters. No, that's not correct. Where am I at? 80, there we go, 85 centimeters. If we look at the left side with the shortest amount of distance here, we're looking at roughly 103, 104 centimeters, somewhere right around there. In the back, the space is okay for the size in my opinion. I'm 1.80 m tall, 5'11". Seat in front of me is adjusted to my liking. However, hard plastic here in the back, so you're not going to be able to squish your knees in there. Otherwise, your knees are going to be quite bruised afterwards. You get a little bit of a pocket on both sides. In the center, we have 2 vents, however, not on a climate zone, and also one USB-C on the very bottom. Center tunnel is quite wide, but not very high, but you will be sharing your footroom with others. Up on the top, I'm also not looking at the most amount of headroom. I have around 3 finger width or 2 almost, so it's not the most, but more than in, for instance, the Mazda CX-30. Isofix points, quite easy to get to. You just have the flaps in the center, quite good, and also in the center we have 2 cup holders, but no center tunnel. So, like I said, from the back, just a 60-40 split. If we look on the right side, we have the seat package in here, meaning for the outermost seats, we also get heated seats. That is good. And softer material, hard plastic on the very top. This kind of almost looks like a carbon fiber, but it's more like just a hard plastic, I don't know, like a cool design in there. And then JBL sound system, which we also have with the sound package in here. And here we are now in the inside of the facelift Kia XCeed, and the steering wheel has changed a little bit to tailor towards more of the EVs, drive modes, physical buttons all throughout, pedals in the back, shifters, or not shifters, but columns in the back, which are really well and feel good in my hand. New panoramic display, so we have a digital cockpit and also an infotainment display, which is elongated. We don't have that center small display we get in higher trims, well not in higher trims, but in higher car models from Kia, like the Seltos for instance. This new multi-mode selection on the bottom, which can go between climatization, so we actually get rotary dials, lovely, and also quick binds for infotainment display, or we can also do the climatization through there. Inductive charging space with the higher variant that we have here with the Spirit. 12-volt port, a USB-A and a USB-C. Heated seats, ventilated seats, and also heated steering wheel because we have the seat package in here. Auto hold, electrical parking brake, gear selector looks a lot more like the one we get in the Kia K4. I think it's the exact same one. 2 cup holders, which you can also take out and slide that out to have a little bit more of a nicer design and cleaner look. If we open that up, a little bit more storage space in the bottom. Quality in the inside, hard plastic up on the top, otherwise softer materials down below. It's hard, isn't it? Actually, no, it's soft. In the back it was hard, so I thought for a second it was the exact same material. But no, so soft all throughout, apart from obviously further down, which is going to be more scratchy, and in the center here. And in the infotainment display, we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto Wireless, if you want that. But let's get driving. There's a couple of new assistant features, or one new assistant feature, which is a requirement from the EU law now, which is this sensor right in the front here, which monitors you. So if you look away, it's going to give you a quick hello and tell you, why are you not looking at the road? This is unacceptable, stuff like that. Sometimes I don't know why they do all of these small little things. Now they're gonna watch over you as well. EU warning assistant is quite easy to turn off. Press on the mute button for 3 seconds and it's going to turn off. Lovely. And then I've also set up this button right here. If I press that, it's going to go to my assistant features, and I can press on this button on the bottom, which allows me to then scroll down. And for instance, if there is, if there is a change in the speed sign, because it detects that, usually gives you a warning. I can turn that on or off depending on if I want that warning to be audible or not. Otherwise, let's talk about the surrounding view. Out the back, window is quite big, so we see enough out of there. A-pillar hasn't been that intuitive for me as well. If we look, there is no connection between the C and the D pillar in the back, so there's no window there. It's just a constant connection. And otherwise, the surrounding view, in my opinion, is quite decent. We don't have a 360-degree camera, but we get that reversing camera, so that is already going to be enough. The car is not that big, so you can see over the bonnet quite easily as well. With also that that lesser front overhang, it's going to obviously be a 1.5 centimeters less than you need to see out the front. So there you go, that's a huge change. Suspension in the city also really comfortable. In general, the driving experience in this car in the city is also really good in my opinion. I'm quite surprised by how comfortable it drives. Steering input feels really good, very direct and still smooth with not much input needed. Well, not much input, but it's not a very hard steering input. It's a very gentle one, a really well suited one in my opinion. For the seats, they give you side support, but not the most. And the seating position, I don't know, it's a little bit weird at times, but once you find it, I think it is okay. However, I am getting a little bit sweaty in here, so I can just turn on the ventilated seats, and that is going to suit me. Blind spot assistant we also get in our integrated into our side mirrors, which are a little bit more on the smaller side, but a nice design, and they're not that big, so isolation like we tested on the Autobahn is going to be more suitable for that. And if I also accelerate and decelerate in the city, it is a very one that you can predict quite well. You can also come to a very smooth stop with the brakes in here. Now lane assist is bugging me a little bit, so I can also hold that down, the button on lane assist. That's going to turn orange and I can turn it off. That is going to completely eliminate lane assist kicking in. If I, for instance, if they see a weird marking on the road, it's not going to kick in anymore. Turning circle in the city is also 10.4 meters, which is going to be again quite usable. For the consumption, I can't really give you a good estimate due to the fact that we're only driving this for a couple of hours, this car, because we don't have it as a test vehicle currently. It's just an event. I reset it here when I started going into the city, 4.7 liters. That's going to go up or down. It was at 4.4 a second ago. When we're driving on the Autobahn with 160, lots of kickdowns, we're looking at around 9 liters. WLTP claims those 6.9. I think that is going to be achievable. I did realize there's no eco mode in here, you just have normal and sport, which did also get a little bit of an optimization, but there's no eco mode, so you can't really do much. I don't know what that sound was. Do we have like an arcade in here, or what was that sound? I just win some tickets? What happened?
I don't think so.
Let's now head on to the Autobahn, where we are going to go into sport mode. Sport mode has been redefined a little bit, optimized a little, and you can definitely feel the engine is way more, or the gas pedal is way more responsive right there. And if we actually drive on here a little bit faster, the body lean is surprisingly sporty. In general, quite cool. 150 horsepower that we have right here. That's a good kick. 130, 140. I feel like 150 horsepower is already more than you need. Well, not more than you need. I think this is the perfect value. 180 is obviously going to give you a little bit more kick. 1,000 euros extra for that engine isn't that much. So theoretically, I think most people will just purchase that because it's only 1,000 euros more. 115 horsepower on the other side, because it is also a 3-cylinder engine, is going to be a little bit more noisy in the inside. and probably, well, it's definitely going to have a little bit less kick. Then if you're more in a hillier area, I think you're going to have a little bit of issue. What they have also done is improve the isolation. They have improved the isolation, and also the vibrations are supposed to be a little bit less. I'm going to slow down to 130 now, so we can get to our usual speed where we do our comparison. So let's quickly brake it down to 130.
67, 68.
67, 68, which is really good, just the comparison value. Tesla Model 3 is at around 70, Renault Clio is at around 75 decibels. It always depends on the wind, obviously, and stuff like that. But even at higher speeds, I feel like the isolation is still really well done and feels very comfortable to drive over longer distances. In general, even the suspension here is very comfortable. They also changed the rear suspension a little bit. They optimized a little bit for more of a comfortable feeling. But in general, feels stable at higher speeds, feels comfortable, and also just a joy to drive, in my opinion. It feels really good in your hand. The blinkers also have an amazing touch, in my opinion. They feel really good when you actually press them. There's also quite a lot of assistant features. We have the top of the line variant here, so we get highway assistant as well, which basically means we can press the button on the left side here for adaptive cruise control. And now I'm sitting up quite high, so I can't really see everything because my steering wheel is also lower because of my arm still. I've set it up now to 130 kilometers an hour. And in general, Kia, Hyundai, they always do a very good job with their assistant features. Let's see how smoothly it's going to brake to the car in front of me. I have set it up to the lowest distance, but there it starts to smoothly brake down. And hands-on recognition, I can just do that. There we go, that, and it's going to be good. Actually, I'm not too sure if this actually has a hands-on recognition. It might not completely have hands-on recognition, but still, you don't have to do much input. Now, there's nobody in front of me. Let's see how it accelerates. Okay, very gentle acceleration. So if you're overtaking, then you might have to use your gas pedal to actually help you accelerate a little bit faster. As you might have also seen, if I blink, there is no camera in my digital cockpit due to the fact that we don't have a 360-degree camera. You can't pick one up, so there's also no option for us to get that blind spot kind of camera, which you get in higher models like the Kia EV4, for instance. So what is my final verdict on the Kia XCeed facelift? Design-wise, I'll say I was a bigger fan of the older one, especially from the front. Let me know what you think of that. Kind of sad that we don't get a GT line anymore. That's also a thing I would have liked to see, but that is not a thing that's going to happen in the future. Driving wise, it's exceptional in my opinion. It's really well optimized and feels really good on the highway. Even the 150 horsepower variant is already enough in my opinion. You don't really need the 180 horsepower, but that extra cost isn't too much. Consumption wise, I sadly can't tell you exactly how much it is going to consume because it was just a short video here, or short test drive. Otherwise, design in the back, in my opinion, is a little bit better. And it is quite usable as well, decent quality. You get a lot of luxury features in the inside as well. Heated seats, ventilated seats, if you opt for them. Sadly, no 360-degree camera. What do you think of the car? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.